Since Forkast started on day one, we've been reporting on the advancements that China has made in the digital currency race. Now, we've talked about pilot trials in Tier 1 cities to the unofficial launch during the Winter Olympic Games. From public transportation to retail to banking to payroll, it's all being tested. So why is the U.S. Federal Reserve still on the fence? Well, it's about to get pushed off. 3 questions we're asking today from our global perspective. U.S. lawmakers push the Fed on plans for a digital dollar. What are they worried about? More fallout for Tornado Cash. What Circle did after the crypto mixer ended up on a U.S. blacklist, and what it all means for investors. And why did crypto lender Hodlnaut freeze withdrawals, swaps, and deposits even as crypto prices came back? Latest on troubled exchanges and what could happen next. Let's get you up to speed from Asia to the world.
Join thousands of NFT traders who already start their day on CryptoSlam.
Well, U.S. lawmakers say it is time for the Fed to get its head into the CBDC game. According to the Wall Street Journal, a bipartisan group of lawmakers are pushing for swifter moves towards issuance of a digital dollar. Republican Senator French Hill, who is one of that group, cited China's plans for its digital yuan as a concern, a question of national security. Still, Fed Chair Jerome Powell has indicated that the central bank is not in a rush. So what's the disconnect? Forkast's Carolyn White looks into what's at stake.
The senators say they are keen to combat the threat the rollout of China's central bank digital currency could pose to the US status as the global reserve currency. One expert told Forkast that the US is a long way behind China with its CBDC plans.
China already has a digital currency. It used it during the Olympics to prove that it could be used. Since it's got Belt and Road in place, it can kind of implement its digital currency on those countries that owe it money or have trading revenues with it. So that gives it a big test bed, and that's something that that the Fed is probably a little bit anxious about going forward. That if the US dollar stops being used for international currency, then some of its spending power or its status power will be undermined. And of course, that they really don't want China to be leading in finance, just like they don't want China to be leading in tech.
Sullivan says that while Fed Chair Jerome Powell hasn't been pushing plans forward so far, that could change.
Powell is not a great favour of either Bitcoin or anything else digital, really. He still likes the old fiat currencies and to know where he stands on that. But he has been made aware that the Americas do look like they're going to lose out. And whilst this isn't going to take the place of the US dollar in the long term, obviously it takes away some of the leading aspects of the US dollar. US dollar is probably still going to be people's main reserve currency. But if there is an easier and cheaper way of transferring money, then people are likely to look to adopt that.
Ben Emmons of Medley Advisors agrees that the pressure is building, telling Forkast that while there are several bills in the US addressing crypto and digital currencies, this issue addresses the Fed directly by mandating further studies from the central bank into putting a digital payment system into place. Meanwhile, Sullivan says China setting a precedent could result in the country taking a lead on setting guidelines and controlling the market.
If they can show that it works, then other countries that are looking at digital currencies are likely to go, well, look, China's got one that works, why don't we just adopt their system? And that, I think, is the risk for the Fed, that some of those controls or some of those features within the Chinese system may not be the ones that you really want worldwide.
Sullivan says that while many central banks have already set off down their own paths without waiting for the US or China, they will still be looking for a common system.
The real crux of it, I guess, comes in how these systems then interact with each other. And obviously you're going to have to try and find a common platform that they can all operate interlinked with each other. And that's probably, China's wanting to take the lead there so that it's its platform that becomes the standard platform. And I think that's what worries maybe the Americas and some other countries, that would give China access to other information that maybe you don't want them knowing about.
But while the international race may be on, there's something close to home that Sullivan thinks the Fed may have on its mind.
The other side, though, of digital currencies is, to an extent, it removes the part of the reason for having an existing banking service. Because, the Fed may print money, but it's the banks that actually sort of dole it out. If you've got a digital system, then the Fed could effectively do it itself. It's just a matter of having the scale and the servers in which to operate it. And that would take a big chunk out of the existing banking world. And that's something the Fed, again, isn't that keen on, because it relies on that banking system for a lot of other levers and advantages that would be removed if it overrode them.
For Forkast, I'm Carolyn Wright.
Well, it's no mix-up for crypto mixer Tornado Cash. According to data from Dune Analytics, Circle, the issuer of the USDC stablecoin, has very definitively frozen 75,000 USDC in funds at the crypto mixer. That's after the US blacklisted it. What's the fallout and what can we expect to happen next? Well, let's get the lowdown from Forkast's Lachlan Keller. Lachlan, what led Circle to freeze Tornado Cash funds?
Thanks very much, Angie. So Circle's action comes after the US Treasury Department actually banned all persons and entities from using the crypto mixer on Monday, alleging the service facilitates money laundering. Now, this is a serious allegation that Circle had to take action on. As you mentioned, they have frozen 75,000 USDC worth of funds, with these funds being linked to 81 sanctioned wallet addresses with ties to Tornado Cash. Now, the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control said the mixer had laundered more than $7 billion in cryptocurrency since its launch in 2019. It's believed that Tornado Cash is one of the key tools used by the Lazarus Group, which is a North Korean state-backed hacking organization that is believed to be behind the $620 million US dollars, that is, of course, hack of the Axie Infinity sidechain Ronin network in March.
Well, let's talk about bad actors in the crypto space. What do we know about them, and how are crypto mixers being used here?
Well, according to a report by blockchain analysis firm Chainalysis, the amount sent to cryptocurrency mixers actually reached an all-time high in April of $51.8 million US dollars. Now, a crypto mixer is a service in which people are able to add their cryptocurrency into a big pool and then withdraw the same amount of that cryptocurrency minus a fee, of course, in order to hide their tracks. Now, this service would be very attractive for maybe people engaging in illicit activity, as it does enable them to hide their tracks in an industry where everything is actually recorded on the blockchain. In an interview with Forkast last month, Kim Grauer, head of research at Chainalysis, said there's a growing awareness of mixers.
A lot of more people are aware of the role that mixers play, and I think potentially a reason for that is that such bad actors, Russian cybercrime groups and North Korean hacking organizations and other kind of organized criminal groups are able to get away with their crimes using mixers, at least to some degree, or there's the perceived ability that they can get away with crimes using mixers.
The Chainalysis report concluded that any regulation approaching mixers needs to strike a difficult balance between protecting the right to digital privacy that they offer while addressing their clear utility on illicit activity.
That's a great point there. I mean, how much do we value privacy? At what cost? I mean, what's the right balance to strike? That's the ultimate question. Thanks, Lachlan, for that. Really appreciate it. That was Lachlan Keller of Forkast. All right, just when you thought the crypto winter was beginning to thaw, Singapore and Hong Kong-based Hodlnaut has frozen withdrawals, swaps, and deposits. The crypto lender cited recent market conditions as the reason, despite the recent uptick in crypto prices. And while it says it's working on a recovery plan, it has, however, told the Monetary Authority of Singapore that it intends to withdraw its major payment institution license application there. So that means it is no longer able to provide digital payment token services to the Lion City. However, it's better news for Zipmex customers, at least. There's been a little bit more progress on opening up access to Z-Wallet funds. This is where the crypto exchange is saying that specific amounts of Ether and Bitcoin will be released on August 11th and 16th, respectively, opening up access to more customers to retrieve their crypto. Now, it's the latest step as it seeks a moratorium in Singapore for protection from creditors after it paused all withdrawals on its platform in July. Okay, finally, why is Polygon going all K-drama on us? Well, it was the production company behind the hit Netflix series, Extraordinary Attorney Woo, which came up with the idea to team up with Polygon to build up an NFT community. AIMC told us at Forkast.News that the project aims to engage fans of the show and increase public awareness of autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. The company is also setting up a decentralized autonomous organization, or DAO, raising charity funds to support ASD. Now, for those who haven't watched the show yet, on-screen Extraordinary Attorney Woo is about an autistic lawyer whose unique perspective is exactly how she wins the case. On-screen. Off-screen, blockchain may help autism win more acceptance from a wider audience. And that's your Daily Forkast from Asia to the world. Stay up to date, subscribe and like. Follow us on Twitter for the latest updates at Forkast_News. And head to our website as well for more details on all of today's stories and more. Until next time, I'm Forkast Editor-in-Chief Angie Lau. See you then.